To another edition of Right on Rangers Live coming at you. Baseball night, man. We got Rangers up 13-8 here in the top of the seventh in surprise. Good to have a night baseball game. Love it, man. Oh my goodness. This is good stuff. Getting closer and closer. Let me see. What's going on here? TikTok, what's happening? Oh, some silly message, man. There we go. Sorry about that. Little technical difficulties. You know how it goes sometimes. Appreciate all you guys hanging out. We are in, like I said, the seventh inning, 13-8. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about here. We've got, first of all, big news this morning. Andrew McCutchen, former 2013 MVP, signing a minor league contract with the Rangers. Got to talk about Kutch and where he might fall in line here on this Rangers roster. I've already dropped a few opinions myself. We're also going to be talking about Wyatt Langford and Jake Berger's big night at the Dish. Wyatt and Jake both going deep tonight. Langford 3 RBI, Berg 4 RBI. Thing of beauty. Yeah, of course, you got the young kids doing their thing as well. Cauley adding another hit, stolen base. Aaron Zavala stays hot. Dude's hitting 500 in spring training right now. A lot of good things to talk about. I think we might need to talk a little bit about MacKenzie Gore and his start. Look, it's early for him. And for guys that are already established, you kind of know where I sit with this if you've been following for a while. I like to play along a little bit with the clickbaity stuff, but I think if you have watched this show since we started up in 2023, I think when it comes to spring training, you have to obviously look at the stats of some of the guys that are, striving and trying to make the team with guys that are absolutely already going to be a part of the equation. I think you can give a little bit more grace. MacKenzie Gore was not good tonight, and I don't know that you've really seen Gore dominate yet this spring. And I know that there's a lot of people, I'm sure, quick to come to his defense. He's working on something. He's tweaking something. I just wish we could all just kind of be grounded and be honest. Like, at some point, let's all admit it's a lot better when you're seeing guys have good numbers in games versus not. I go back and forth with some people about spring training and the stats and everything like that. And I just say to myself, like, at what point are we going to at least just call a spade here? When you look and see MacKenzie Gore, 3 innings, maybe 1 earned run, 0 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. Come on now. That line makes you feel a whole lot better than 1.27 earned runs. And MacKenzie Gore, I think, is going to be just fine. I'm not hitting the panic button on him yet, although I'm sure there are some Rangers fans currently doing that. Not me. I think he is going to be just fine, but at the same time, you definitely wish, and I can absolutely get on board with a little bit of a better line would be much more hopeful at this point. MacKenzie Gore, 2 strikeouts, 3 walks, 6 hits, man, 9 base runners, and only 5 outs accounted for. Never good when you're allowing more base runners than outs that you're getting. Gary, what's good, man? More bargain basement shopping for the Rangers. Look, the Rangers, to me, needed to go get a right-handed bat. I did not think that they were going to go out and get Andrew McCutchen, but they did need a right-handed bat. That was 100% needed, and I thought that they were just kind of resigned to internal replacements. We've been talking up Cam Cauley a little bit on the show. We know that Cam had another hit tonight, stolen base. Still looks every bit the part. He's on second base right now. Matter of fact, Cam Cauley has been having an outstanding spring. But we always, I think, kind of thought that the Rangers would go out and get a veteran right-handed bat. Andujar was the, I think, number 1 preferred choice of many Rangers fans. We kicked around a few other guys as well. Rob Refsnyder, who eventually went to the Mariners. a lot of Rangers fans were absolutely counting on a veteran right-handed bat being added. I threw out Justin Turner as well, former Dodger, former teammate of Corey Seager and Jock Peterson. I thought maybe JT would be a decent fit. It didn't work out, and I just thought, hey, they must feel really good about the internal options. I think that this McCutchen move tells you the Rangers aren't feeling good about the right-handed bats right now. I mean, look, do they look at Cam Cauley and get excited? I think so, but I think you're looking at Mark Canha, you're looking at Zeke Duran, even with the Cody Freeman injury. And Cody Freeman, as much as we love Cody, you got to be real about the numbers. I think Cody would even tell you the numbers were not where he would have wanted them to be last year. And I think that he still has some things to prove in MLB as well. I think we saw some great moments, some great flashes, but if we're being real, there's a lot of question marks when it comes to the depth on the Rangers bench. And so I think that this McCutchen move clearly signals that Texas is not satisfied with what they have on the bench right now to stymie left-handed pitching. And so McCutchen, to me, I went back and forth with a few people on this. Mace, I know you were on my side with this one. I just don't think McCutchen is signing with Texas without some assurances that he is going to be on the major league roster. It would really shock me if McCutchen doesn't make the team. I mean, look, once he gets into spring training games, if he just looks like a complete mess, okay, maybe. I mean, look, anything can happen. But for me, I don't think the Rangers added Andrew McCutchen to send him to the minor leagues. You also have McCutchen with a lot of different incentives in his contract. When I say a lot, I'm not talking about, tens upon hundreds, but he has several pretty key incentives in the deal. It just seems weird you would go back and forth with a player on incentives and spend the time doing that if you weren't planning on him most likely being in the major leagues. I mean, we'll see, but I do think Andrew McCutchen makes the team. I do think he will be a bench option. Maybe look for him to platoon with Jock Peterson at the DH spot. I really don't know. Maybe you guys can help me out on this. Has Skip Schumacher come out and said if Jock Peterson is going to be playing every day? I would assume that they're not going to be playing him every day, and McCutchen would be a very nice platoon bat to put into that DH spot. We know that McCutchen has only played, I think, 20 games or so in the outfield over the last 1 or 2 seasons. It's not very much. So you really can't see Kutch helping out at a lot other positions beyond the DH spot. And so I do think that might be the play here. You have Jock Peterson being in primarily against right-handed starters, and then you've got McCutchen, a late inning bat that you can throw in there. Also a guy that you can start against left-handed pitchers. I think that's got to be the plan. Gary says Duran cannot be on the opening day roster again. Gary, I'm with you. I don't want to trash Zeke Duran here, but Zeke Duran, to me, he's gotten so many opportunities. Ezekiel Duran has gotten so many opportunities to be on this team and contribute, and he just hasn't done it. I think he's had flashes. There's moments. But I commented on X today when we were talking about, what do the Rangers do here? Who do they DFA if you add Kutch? And some people did acknowledge, they're probably going to send Jordan Montgomery to the 60-day, and maybe you can get a little creative with guys on the IL and not really have to do a DFA. We'll see what they do. But eventually that bill is going to come due. I think Duran is a prime candidate to be a DFA. I think that you could have traded Duran probably in 23, 24, and in 25. Remember, in 2023, at the beginning of 2023, Leody Taveras and Ezekiel Duran were crushing it. I think each of them in 2023 were hitting over 300 in May. And I think most of us said, this ain't going to last. Let's see if we can get some value out of this. And it just never worked out. The Rangers decided to hold on to him. Then you remember last year, Zeke Duran got sent down to AAA and had like 5 homers in 5 games. And again, at least I was saying the stock's never going to get higher. He's got 5 homers in 5 games in AAA right before the deadline. let's get this guy on the trade block. I have just not been a believer that Zeke is going to turn into a crazy contributor. I think you've given him 3 years, and some people do, I think, kind of clap back a little bit on it, saying that Zeke really hasn't gotten a fair shot to play every day. That's not how this works. I think if you're a prospect, you can use that excuse like, he doesn't get to play every day. We don't really get to see him in a rhythm. When you're a guy who's not a top prospect coming up, getting an opportunity, I'm sorry. We absolutely cannot judge guys like that from the perspective of, yeah, they're not getting to play every day. So it's kind of unfair to say that, they're not going to cut it at the big league level. You got to take your chances and you got to make the most of it. And I just don't feel like Zeke has done that to this point. Gary mentions Mark Canha. Mark Canha, I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but I don't think he's been terrible, but I don't think that he's impressed. I don't think anybody looks at Canha's spring and is wowed. I don't think it jumps off the page at you. So again, the McCutchen signing tells me they're probably not completely satisfied with Mark Canha, and they're probably not completely satisfied with who they have on the bench right now. We keep on rolling. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the comments so far. Natalie, McCutchen shouldn't steal at bats from Wyatt or EC. Don't think he will. Again, Andrew McCutchen, DH guy, I think he is not going to be playing a lot of the field. I think you'll see him if he does make the roster, and I think he will. I think you'll see McCutchen be a platoon DH guy with Jock. I don't think they're planning on playing Jock every day. That has not been what I have heard, but we shall see what happens. Mace, I don't know if you're still hanging out. Have a good night, buddy. Good to see you as always. I think, Ethan, you're probably right on this one. Comment is Canha out. I love Andrew McCutchen as well. I think he's a great guy. Everything that I've heard is good stuff. You don't hear a lot of noise, negativity about Andrew McCutchen. And so I do feel good about this signing. I don't think that it, puts the Rangers over the top or anything like that, but the more solid vets. I said this when I was talking about Justin Turner a couple of weeks ago in one of the short vids that I put out. With Justin Turner, let's say you would have added him. I just liked having another solid veteran in the clubhouse, fortifying that clubhouse with veteran leadership. I just don't think you can go wrong there. And so signing a guy like McCutchen, you instantly add another really high quality bat, but also high quality dude to your clubhouse. And I think that is a big positive. And look, when I say high quality bat, a lot of the talk about McCutchen is you're going to get a professional AB from him. And historically, he has hit lefties quite well. I think, Ethan, you were telling me, 290 lifetime average against lefties. Understood that he's 39, but I think you're going to get a professional AB every time from Kutch. And that's something that's been lacking over the last 2 seasons. You don't go up and down our lineup in 2024 and 2025 and say to yourself, yeah, all 7 out of 9 guys are giving us a professional AB tonight every single time up there. Meaning they're not going to get suckered by terrible pitches. They're not going up there over anxious, over aggressive, swinging at crap. I think that McCutchen definitely is going to be a guy that some of the young players can learn from as well. I'm a big fan of the move. I know that some Rangers fans kind of shoulder shrugged. I do think there is something to be said for intangibles. I do think there is something to be said for veteran leadership. And look, Canha got an opportunity. And not saying that he can't still make a difference, but it would just really surprise me at this point if Andrew McCutchen is not on the opening day roster. Why would Kutch wait this late in spring to sign with a team that he doesn't really have that good of a shot at making the roster for? It doesn't make any sense to me. Does not make any sense to me at all. Elevation messes with the breaking pitches and helps fly balls carry. Silas, you're talking about MacKenzie Gore, just like the bad pitching. I do know that Arizona, it is tough there. Ball flies all over the place with the high elevation. And then you've also got some other factors as well. But yeah, look, I'm not pushing the panic button on MacKenzie Gore. But again, let's be honest with ourselves. Like, we can, explain away the MacKenzie Gore start tonight. Much more encouraging when you see a 0 in that ER in the box score, in that ER column, then you look and you see 7 earned runs. We just got to be real about that. We can make it feel like it's not really that big of a deal, and maybe it's not at all. But I can say this: it feels and it looks a lot better when you have that 0 in the box score versus a 7. We keep on going, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate all you guys. IDK, hopefully he gets it under control. I think he will. What's a little bit odd to me is that the strikeout totals aren't a little bit higher. He must be, I think, and he is tweaking with some pitches, and that makes sense. Guys that are basically assured a roster spot, it makes a lot of sense to me that you would give them some wiggle room to play around with their repertoire a little bit. Guys that are actually trying to make a roster or trying to make a rotation spot, I think they have a little bit less room to do that. That's a little bit more off season, and hey, we get to spring training and I need to impress here. I mean, Skip talks about it too, right? For anybody that's saying spring training doesn't matter, Skip talks about all the time guys impressing him, making you turn your head, right? Making you say, wow, standing out. Like, we cannot pretend, for all y'all out there that just think spring training stats are meaningless, we can't pretend like it doesn't matter. I just don't even understand that. These coaches are looking for performances that stand out. They're looking for guys to rise above. Skip talked about it with Josh Smith last week. Even Josh Smith, right? A guy who's been a contributor. You've got Skip Schumacher coming out and saying, yeah, I'm looking for him to set himself apart. I'm looking for him to really make him force me to play him every day. I don't think you can ignore every single spring training stat line. I think you have to take it with a grain of salt, but ignoring it feels asinine to me. We keep going. Hoping Gore is just getting the bad outings early before the season starts. You and me both, brother. Brian, appreciate the comments as always, man. Keep them coming if you got them. Good stuff. We'll keep on rolling. We got a lot to cover tonight. We talked about McCutchen a little bit. Would love to get your thoughts on the McCutchen move. I do think you've got a really interesting decision forthcoming for these bench spots. You have Cody Freeman's injury, which a lot of people aren't talking about. I haven't really heard much of an update on Cody and what he's going through right now, if things are improving. You've also got the Josh Young hammy or adductor. You've got Justin Foscue. There's a lot of interesting storylines here. I am fascinated to see what happens if these guys can actually get back from injury soon enough, or if they are going to need more time. Right? But the health of some of these players, I think, is going to make a big, big difference. I will say this, McCutchen aside, I really still do like the idea of having a Tyler Wade bat on the bench. Tyler Wade has had a pretty outstanding spring. He's got one of the highest batting averages this spring and highest OPSs on the team. I like with Tyler Wade that you kind of have a second Josh Smith. If you're going to play Josh Smith every day at second base, or if you're going to play him most days at second base, I do really like the concept of having a lefty bat off the bench that can pretty much play anywhere. That's what Josh Smith was for us for a number of years. He had to get brought into a bigger role with injuries, but I think going all righty bench would be a mistake. And right now, let's just kind of talk about the bench and where it's at. I think Swaggerty and I think Jansen / Higgy, those are your two of your four bench spots right there. Haggerty being a switch hitter definitely gives you that potential lefty bat off the bench, although we know that Haggerty is definitely a little bit more lethal, a little bit more deadly from the right side, right? Hitting lefties like he did tonight. Now, that said, I still like the idea. If you got Kutch and you've got Higgy or Jansen, I like the idea of having a lefty that you can bring in off the bench. Tyler Wade, to me, I think is a guy that is impressing. He played a little first base in the B game. So they had another game before this one that's on right now, and Tyler Wade played first base in that B game that took place before this one. No real stats published from that one. It's basically just like a scrimmage, right? I know a lot of basically all these spring training games are, but for me, Tyler Wade, I think, is an interesting guy. I think having that lefty off the bench, a second Josh Smith, if you will, could be valuable. And that leaves essentially one more spot. You've got McCutchen. You've got, well, let's see. I guess Wade would be taking that last spot, right? If you have Higgy Jansen and you have Swaggerty, if you have McCutchen then as your third guy, Tyler Wade, for me, feels like the fourth. Cam Cauley, I just feel like I'd love to see him on the big league roster. I'm only not including him because I just don't think it's going to happen. He's up to bat right now, by the way. Watch him go yard just because. I know I haven't been giving y'all much play-by-play, but it's spring training. It's 13-8 Rangers. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Cauley's up right now, 1-0 count. I'll keep you posted on Cam Cauley. Game is actually on MLB TV. Yeah, man, appreciate the comment. Yeah, it's on MLB TV. It's the Royals broadcast, bro. So that's what a lot has, by the way, of the Rangers TV games have been this spring so far. It's been the other team putting out the video. Cam Cauley, ground ball, the shortstop. We'll have to check the exit velo on that, but that'll end the inning. Let's see what he was off the bat. 98 off the bat. I mean, quality contact, man. I think it's 95, 96 or higher. Quality contact. So Cam Cauley, ground ball, 98 off the bat, ends the inning. He is 1 for 2, I believe, with the walk on the evening. Cam Cauley, man, he has come on strong in this spring for the Rangers. Again, I just don't see the Rangers making him an MLB guy at this point. Could be wrong. If he continues to do what he's doing, maybe he just forces the Rangers' hand. But I think he starts out in AAA. We keep on rolling. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, no problem, man. I know it's frustrating. It definitely is frustrating that the games, first of all, more of them aren't televised. I feel like, they're thinking spring training, not a lot of people care or are going to watch. I don't know, man. The diehards want to watch. So for me, I absolutely love when these games get televised, even if it's a crude camera from the press box with one out on a tripod in the outfield, man. I don't care. Just give me baseball, man. Give me baseball. Also on 105.3 in Texas. That's awesome. Keep going. Zach, you got this hat? Yeah. This hat's actually pretty sweet. I like it. I know it got some crap when they first came out with it, but it's actually a pretty nice hat, man. I love it. I got a couple of hats coming in. I got another all black one, trucker style. That one is on New Era. I'm about to show off the hat game to you guys over the next few lives. We keep going, baby. I love it. That totally is one of mine, man. We keep going. Love that. I'm glad you picked up on that, brother. That's awesome. That's what I mean. This is our time to really watch the young guys, and you've got an opportunity to see all these players that you just don't get to watch a lot in season. Like, let's be real. When we're doing minor league, season stuff, that's right during MLB. Like, you got to be on a different level when it comes to time and dedication to be watching a Rangers game and then going and watching a replay, or maybe you go split screen. I guess that could work. Maybe that's what I need to start doing. You go split screen with the AAA game and with the MLB game, man. I mean, seriously. Ooh, yeah, you got to challenge that one. I said on X tonight, by the way, if you don't follow me over on X, go do it, man. We're commenting, I feel like, nonstop throughout these games before I get on the show. Rangers win a challenge here. That definitely looked like a strike. I'm having a little bit of a tough time. Wyatt Langford, I posted about Wyatt, man. I don't think there's a dude in MLB more excited about ABS than Wyatt Langford. Wyatt Langford got screwed relentlessly over the last 2 seasons. I know we all remember Angel Hernandez in Houston. I know we all remember that. Like, Wyatt Langford has got to be in heaven. The fact that they got ABS and he actually won a challenge earlier tonight. That was great. It was a ball. It was low, got called a strike. It was actually correct. Wyatt was correct by a fairly significant margin. That dude has got to be in heaven. And Wyatt Langford, by the way, just crushing baseballs right now. Like, all this dude does is mash. All he does is mash. Yeah, I think that a lot of people are going to be talking about an extension for him. And he's come out. I think they followed up and asked him again. And he's basically said he's positive towards an extension. We'll see what the Rangers decide to do. I really hope the Rangers don't blow this. I really hope they don't fumble this bag. You've got the potential lockout coming up here. And a lot of people, when I came out and posted, like, Rangers can't mess this up. They're like, well, the lockout, and Ray Davis, and he, not sure about what's going to happen. I'm like, to me, this is a great time to do it. Like, this is a great time to do it. You've got some uncertainty with Wyatt. If there is a salary cap, now's your chance to get in before that happens. I don't think they're going to be restructuring contracts. So I think if you're Wyatt Langford, yeah, you might be tempted to wait, but you kind of wonder if there's going to be a little bit of that, hey, if a salary cap really is coming, do I want to get in on a deal before that starts up? I mean, I think that is definitely something you've got to consider. The Rangers, I think, would be wise to get this deal done, though. I think we threw out the figure 10 years, $200 million. Maybe that's gone up 10 years, $225. I feel very comfortable doing a deal like that. I know Wyatt has had a little bit of issue with injury at times. He's missed 30 games or so over the last 2 seasons. I think 60-ish combined. But nevertheless, I do think this is going to be a guy that is going to get better and better with age. The more experience he gets, it might not be able to run as angry as Corey Seager puts it. I think he might have to find a way to harness a little bit. When those legs get moving, dude's hard to stop. We'll put it that way. I think Wyatt is absolutely worthy of an extension. The people that say he's not or don't want to do it, I don't know what to tell you. Not going to agree on that one. I think the Rangers would be stupid to not do everything they can to keep Wyatt Langford and Ranger red, white, and blue. By the way, Lopez pitching right now. He's getting a little wild, man. He's having some trouble finding the play. Has nearly hit a couple of different batters. Royals making a little noise here in the bottom of the 8th. 13-8 Texas still. The umps, I do kind of agree. Like, the umpires, some of them are about to get put on blast, man. It is a little embarrassing. I think some of y'all, we talked about this on the show last week, saw in that Yankees game where the umpire got like 5 calls, like within a very short amount of time, challenged, and they were all overturned in favor of the challenger. I'm like, it's going to be some rough days for some of these guys that aren't more on their game. And they're just going to have to learn. You just take it on the chin. Yep, I got it wrong. I've always said, though, with the technology that we have, you love that the fact that the umpires have this feedback. Like, for me, I would want between innings to see, like, am I calling a strike a little bit too far off the plate, a little too low, a little too high? You kind of feel like this is going to give umpires that immediate feedback that hopefully is going to allow them to correct a little bit. Now, in the case of that umpire in the Yankees game from about a week ago, clearly he wasn't making the corrections needed. But you'd like to think, like, it's a good theory that ABS is going to give these guys more immediate feedback, and hopefully it will allow them to make some adjustments in game and be better for it. Brian, I'm glass half full with you on that one, brother. Keep on going. Appreciate all the likes. Hey, if you're hanging out, you haven't liked the live yet, tap that screen a few times. If you're on TikTok, hit that thumbs up if you're on YouTube. And hey, if you haven't followed yet, what are we doing? This is what we do like twice a week at this point, and we do it every game after Rangers games during the 8th and the 9th inning usually as well. So we get a little live action mixed in. We just hang out, talk ball. We talk a lot of Rangers, clearly. I mean, you see what we got going on here. The hat, the shirt, the background, everything. But look, every game, we always spend some time talking about things around baseball as well. Of course, MLB pretends sometimes that the only teams that exist are the Yankees and the Dodgers, but we dig a little deeper. We give you the best stories from around the league too. So, hey, appreciate you guys dropping that follow. If you haven't done so already, keep growing this great community we got. Talking ball, talking Rangers baseball. Zach, I am in on Kutch making the team. I don't see any other reason why he would have signed. I mean, I guess there's two trains of thought, right, Zach? Like you maybe could argue, and nobody knows, Kutch was desperate. Nobody was calling. The Rangers are the only ones that offered him a contract. I find that kind of hard to believe. McCutchen, to me, a solid veteran, probably could have gone to another team, maybe with more opportunity for him to play. But they were talking about it on Foul Territory today. It's kind of sad. There are a number of front offices around the league that are kind of devaluing these veteran presences in locker rooms. And so, they want to get young guys playing time. I think we can all relate to and understand that. But you've got a lot of front offices devaluing these guys that have been there, done that, like Kutch, give you professional ABs, help mentor young guys. There's just not as big of an importance placed on that anymore, at least in the Foul Territory guys' minds. And they were talking about Pittsburgh, like, Pirates, what are you guys doing? Like, this is a franchise legend. Yeah, I know you got to give up a 40-man spot and a spot on the 26-man roster, but let's go. Let's go, man. Peyton Gray, by the way, into pitch right now. Big fan of Peyton Gray. He's a fan of Right on Rangers. Believe he follows us on a couple of different channels, man. He has definitely had a good spring so far. I'm going to knock on wood. I surely don't want to be responsible. He strikes out the hitter he faces here. Peyton, by the way, for the spring, sitting at a 0 ERA. He inherits a couple of runners. Leandro Lopez, Jerry, I don't know if I feel as quite as good as you about that outing. It started off well and got a little rocky. It got a little rocky there at the end. Lopez, 2 1/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 6 strikeouts. That is impressive, no doubt. I think, Jerry, that's probably what you're gravitating towards. The 6 strikeouts will play. He is responsible for the runners on second and third right now, so this could get messy if Peyton Gray is not able to strand these guys at second and third. It is 0-2 at this point. I might be a little bit ahead, a little bit behind you. Apologies in advance. Becker up to bat right now. Gray tries to go outside, doesn't quite get it. Change up. And it's going to be a 1-2 count here. Yeah, Peyton Gray, I think he is a very solid arm. I watched him pitch last year when the team was in Vegas. I think that his accuracy is impressive. The only thing that's holding him back is the velocity, the velo a little bit. With Peyton, you're getting low 90s, maybe touching mid occasionally. He's going to get called strike 3 here, though, on a beautiful changeup, man. That's outstanding. Love that. Painted low and away. And that's what I'm talking about. We just called it. The accuracy with Peyton Gray is outstanding. It's just the fact that that fastball is low 90s, right? You just would love to see a little bit more smoke from Peyton. You can only control certain things. At some point, you can definitely add a couple of ticks on your fastball, but Peyton Gray is going to make his living painting like he just did. And that was beautiful, man. That's what you love to see from a young guy like Gray, too. You come in with guys on second and third, and you leave them right there with back-to-back strikeouts. That's definitely got to be impressing Skip Schumacher, who's sitting over there behind the net right now. Good for Peyton Gray. Holly, what's good? Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. Who else? Michael Otanez. Yeah, he definitely threw well tonight. Also, let's give you a little box score stat line here. Otanez was 1 inning, 1 strikeout. Does have a 9 ERA this spring, but tonight was sharp. Really, you had a number of guys throw the ball well. Stasio, he came in, pitched a third of an inning, gotten out. Otanez, scoreless. Brazier. Good to see Ryan Brazier go 1, 2, 3 here. That ERA goes down to 16.20. Woo. Okay, 16.20. All right, then. Hopefully, he can get back on track. Ryan Brazier, he was supposed to come in and I think be a pretty solid piece in the bullpen, maybe in the middle innings. And it hasn't looked great so far this spring. And you'd imagine that Ryan Brazier is throwing pretty close to 100%. Like, he wants to make the team. But hopefully this is the start of something good for him. All right, here's who we got coming up. We've got Mitchell pinch hitting here. And then as it turns over, McIver. And looks like Mitchell, by the way, is going to double here. Sharp liner to center field. Good for him. That was a beautiful gapper, man. Good for Mitchell. McIver coming up right now. He is the third catcher on the 40-man roster. And McIver at this point on the evening, he has a walk, no official ABs. We'll keep on bringing you the live play-by-play as we go along. Do I think any young pitchers are going to be on the team this year? That one, to me, is going to be tough. I do think Baumler is most likely going to make it. I don't know if you'd throw him in that mix, Jerry, but I do think Baumler will be there. I think clearly you've got Martin, you've got Garcia, and then you're probably going to end up with Cody Bradford or Latz out there as well. You've got Cole Winn that's going to be out there too. There's a couple of spots available, but at the same time, I feel like a lot is already going to be pretty set with some of the guys that have already been familiar in some of these roles, especially last year. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of opportunity. Some people think maybe Robbie Alstrom comes up as a left-handed option. I think that I could see that, especially with Cody Bradford not being healthy and Jacob Latz most likely going to be in a starting role. I think if Latz would be in the bullpen, maybe you don't have that need for Alstrom, but Alstrom has been mid-90s with the fastball. I think I saw him touch 95 the other day. And I know he had a little bit of a rough outing last time, but that would be solid. Josh Trenadu, I did notice he got sent to minor league camp. But Trenadu, 96 with the sinker, that was another lefty I liked, actually. I think Alstrom could be like maybe one of the young guys you look at that makes the roster, but still a lot to be determined there. Thoughts on McCutchen, Sam? Yeah, we talked a lot about Kutch. I do not see, as Willie McIver walks, by the way, Velasquez up to bat right now, I don't see McCutchen not making the roster. It just feels like Kutch at this point, why is he signing with Texas if he really doesn't have a legit shot? There's 29 other teams in the league. You've got to think, as he went back and forth with his agent, as he went back and forth with other teams, you have to think he goes to a team that's promising or assuring that he is going to have an extremely legitimate shot at making the team, barring a catastrophic rest of spring training. So I do think Kutch makes it. I like the leadership. I like the clubhouse presence that he brings. I also like the ABs that he's going to give you against lefties. Rangers were one of the worst hitting teams against left-handed pitching last year. We're talking about an OPS in the, what was it, 650s? 650s? Yeah, it was bad. So for me, I think that you have to consider He's probably going to do a nice job spelling Jock Peterson at the DH spot. I do not think at all, don't think at all that he is going to be out in the field. I think that ship has sailed, but I could absolutely see him ending up DHing, platooning with Jock Peterson. With Haggerty one hit today, he's only batting .533 now. What a bum, Haggerty. .533. Come on, man. The average was in the 600s yesterday. What happened? Freaking Swaggerty, man. That dude is on one in surprise. It's great to see. I'm a big Sam Haggerty fan. Those of y'all that have watched the show for a while, you know this. I think Haggerty has to be in the lineup every day against starting pitching. And you know what? If he continues to play like this, they're going to try him against righties eventually. They're going to throw him out there. I mean, I really do feel legitimately, guys, like you have a number of players that are going to have very short leashes this year. Very short leashes. I don't think that they are going to let some of these dudes struggle forever. I don't think so. Like, you think they're going to let Josh Smith struggle forever? And I'm not trying to put that out there in the air. I'm not a Josh Smith hater. I'm not trying to put that out there. But I am saying very clearly, I don't think the leash, the runway, whatever you want to call it, is very long for some of these guys. I don't think the leash is long for Jock Peterson. I think if Jock struggles the first 3-4 weeks, they're going to be thinking about an alternative pretty quickly. Josh Smith, slow out the gate, same thing. Josh Young, slow out the gate, same thing. Evan Carter, slow out the gate, same thing. I do not think that even Evan Carter, especially against lefties, if they decide to play him every day, I don't think Evan gets a long runway either. I think the Rangers are going to be a little bit more reactive this year. Last year, we know Bruce Bochy never wanted to overreact too quickly, and clearly it got the man 4 World Series trophies, 4 rings, like, impressive. You cannot deny it worked out. It did not work out, though, for the Rangers in 24 and 25. In fact, you feel like the long runway they gave Jock Peterson last year really helped bury the team early. Rangers still had a shot late, but I would love to see the Rangers be a little bit quicker to make adjustments this year. We'll see what they end up doing. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on this, Antonio. That contract, so incentive-based. Yeah, Antonio, we kind of made this point in the Discord earlier, didn't we? Like, why would they be going back and forth about incentives, wasting their time, if Kutch was like this long shot to make the roster? I'm with you on that. Haggerty and Carter, perfect platoon partners. Zach, I actually think it might be Haggerty and Smith. Guys, you know, the reality is Josh Smith was in the 500s for OPS against lefties last year. Josh Smith did not hit lefties well last year. So I could see Haggerty platooning with Josh Smith. I could see a platoon with Evan Carter. Maybe you're facing a tough lefty, you know, a Scooble, a Crochet, and you're going to give Evan Carter a little maintenance day, right? If he's going up against, you know, someone mid, someone lower tier, you throw him out there and you let Evan get some ABs against lefties. But you're going up against Scooble, you're going up against Crochet, you're going up against Chris Sale, some of the best lefties in the game. You might give Evan Carter that body maintenance day and let Swaggerty do his thing. I mean, that's where I'm at. I think Haggerty probably ends up platooning a little bit all over the place. You could see Haggerty maybe platooning here and there at DH. I think if McCutchen makes the team, he'll be in the starting lineup every single game against a lefty starter. But eventually, you could see Haggerty, if Kutch doesn't work out, something happens with Kutch health-wise, I think Haggerty could definitely slide into that DH spot too, platooning with Jock Peterson. All right, interesting here. Bases loaded. It is 14-9. Rangers haven't quite scored enough runs tonight. As we would always say during the regular season last year, can we save some runs for tomorrow? Please. Let's save some runs for tomorrow right now, y'all. All right, what else we got? Appreciate all you guys hanging out. Let's see. Do I still expect my team to be good? Drew, I don't know if he's still hanging out, man. I do think the Rangers are a winning record team this year. I don't think they get to 90. And I'm not trying to be negative. If you disagree with me, I hope you're right. Again, if you disagree, you think the Rangers are winning 90 games, trust me, I hope you are correct. But for me personally, I think the Rangers are somewhere around 86 wins. I think maybe they get to 87, 88. I would be very surprised in a good way if they get to 90. I just think that is going to be tough, and a lot has to go right. You have to have guys stay injury-free. You have to have a couple of guys with good bounce-back years. A lot has to go right for the Rangers to be a 90-win team. I'd probably take the under on that. I do think that the Rangers will win 85. I think I've said pretty consistently all offseason, I think right around that 86, 87 range. That's the sweet spot for me. So, Holly, you and I are in lockstep there. I see 88 as kind of being the ceiling, with 85 being the floor. It would surprise me if they did worse or better than that. We'll see what happens. You going big range here, my guy. 85 to 95. We're covering a lot of ground. It's great. 95 wins would be incredible. For 95 wins to happen, you basically need every single player that was bad last year to be average to really good. Like, you need a lot to go right. You need DeGrom, Evo healthy for 30 starts. You need Jack Leiter to take a massive step. You need MacKenzie Gore to take another step up the stairs. A lot has to go right for 95 wins. But you know what? Hope springs eternal in March. It does. And I'm with you. If half of the things go right, should be good, I believe. I think that's why I feel confident saying 86 to 88 wins. I think that is why you can feel confident the Rangers at least improved from last year's record. We keep going. 4 walks. That is crazy. Celestino, center fielder right now for Texas, 4 walks tonight. That is wild, man. Patience pays off. Hey, right now, though, Martinez is up to bat, and we'll see Cam Cauley next. If Martinez can get on. Come on now. We all want to see Cam Cauley hit here. Let's go. Pete, what's up, my guy? Tim, thoughts on Kutch? I know some of y'all who have been hanging out for a while, you've heard me talk about Kutch. We'll keep it short. Love the Kutch move. I think he's going to make the team. He'll be a good bat against lefties, probably platoon at DH with Jock Peterson. Great clubhouse guy. I think the Rangers made a great move in getting him. Man, I really want to see Cam Cauley hit next. Come on, maybe. Come on. Let's get on base here. Martinez 0 for 3. He is down 1-2 in the count. Cam Cauley with a single and a stolen base already. Martinez is going to take a curveball in the dirt here. Cam Cauley's card market is exploding. McJ, give us some numbers. You can't tease us like that. You got to give us some numbers here, bro. What's the number on a Cam Cauley rookie right now? You got one? By the way, if y'all aren't all up on the baseball card market, like, first of all, I'm not either. A lot of the guys in the Discord are teaching me little by little. I'm kind of curious what a Cam Cauley auto is going for right now. All right, here we go. 2-2 count. Martinez going to foul another one off. Crowd's cleared out a little bit here in surprise. Windy day out here in the West. A lot made about that in the first couple of innings. The ball was just flying out of the yard. I think some of y'all made the point. MacKenzie Gore's curveball, the off speed may have been affected a little bit. We'll do it again, 2-2. How did he get that, man? We're not going to see Cam Cauley, unfortunately. I thought he got a piece of that one, but it's going to be strike 3, swing and strike. Catcher steps on home, and we go to the bottom of the 9th. Nate, I am with you 1,000% on this one, my guy. I hope selfishly Cam Cauley makes the roster opening day. I don't think he's going to. I'm going to keep on keeping on with my Cam Cauley campaign. I will continue to try and lobby for that as much as I possibly can, Nate. But I just feel like they're going to send him to AAA. I think Cam would have to hit about 5 more bombs over the course of his time down in Surprise and just continue to crush it at a very high level. I think that he's done enough for me. I think I'd rather have Cam Cauley over Ezekiel Duran. I'd rather see Cam Cauley over Foscue at this point, although I feel bad for Foscue. He had such a good start to the spring, man. I feel bad for him. I'd rather Cam over Mike Hellman right now. I don't dislike or hate any of these guys, but I'm just telling you, I think Cam Cauley, you'll take the upside with Cam over the meh, bleh that we've already seen multiple seasons. I've already seen Zeke Duran on the bench for like 3 years in a row, bro. I'm ready for something new. So for me, Cam Cauley is an easy add to the bench. And we've actually talked about this. Like last year with Bruce Bochy and, Alejandro Osuna, Cody Freeman, Boch got asked essentially, what's the thought process here? Because a lot of people think that guys are not going to progress in their development if they're not playing every day. And Boch basically made a couple of points. First of all, like there does come a point where you've mastered minor league pitching or you've proven that you can hit major league pitching. Cam Cauley, home run the other day against Logan Gilbert, one of the best pitchers in baseball. I think Cam might be able to handle major league pitching. Just throwing that out there. Next, Bochy said, there is value in being around major league talent. There is value in being around Corey Seager every day, watching what Corey Seager does in his process. Last year, watching what Marcus Semien does in his process to get ready for games. There is value in being around major league talent every day and learning from the best. There is value in participating in all the sim games and live reps that you get at the major league level, even if it's not in game. There's always a guy throwing a sim game. You're getting to face major league pitching. I think that you definitely have an argument on both sides of the coin. Both sides of the aisle have a point. But for me, I don't think it's the end of the world that Cam Cauley sits the bench a little bit. I think clearly he's going to be utilized. I don't think he's just going to be on the bench nonstop. But I think it's okay for him to sit the bench half the time. He learns from other guys who have done it at a high level, learns from Corey Seager, learns from Josh Young, gets to learn from Brandon Nimmo. And Cam Cauley can do infield and outfield. He's flexible. He's a utility guy. Probably could play a little third base, shortstop, second base, center field. Cam Cauley can do it, man. So for me, I'm definitely on the page of him getting one of those final roster spots. I do think the Andrew McCutchen move puts a little wrinkle in that. I would be really surprised if Cam Cauley makes it over Andrew McCutchen. We'll see what happens with that situation. We'll be monitoring it closely. Tyler Wade versus Cam Cauley is interesting. I do like having two left-handed bench options. You've got Swaggerty as a lefty bench option, although we know Swaggerty is a little bit better from the right side than the left. You've definitely got him, but I like having another lefty bench option. Last year we had Rowdy Tellez. You had a number of guys that you could rely on, that you could call on from the bench coming in late in ball games against a righty reliever. So I do like Tyler Wade as a lefty bench option that can play everywhere. But we'll see what transpires. I'm excited for Kutch's first game. Want to see how that goes. And, of course, I'm going to be watching Cam Cauley closely the rest of the way. Yeah, I'm with you here, Ultramodern. Good to see you, my guy. I'm just done with some of the bench guys that the Rangers have trotted out there the last 3 years. Nothing but love. I'm definitely not trying to be disrespectful, but you've got enough opportunities for some of these guys. Zeke Duran, I think you've been given enough opportunities. And last year, you had like reverse splits. We needed you to crush lefties. You were better against righties. At least I'm pretty sure that was what the case was for Zeke Duran. It was bad last year, and I just don't know if I want to reload on that. The Kutch signing was purely a vibe signing. Maybe, yes, but I do think he helps you against lefties. I do think he is going to be a good platoon DH bat with Jock Peterson. Yeah, didn't Tellez hit a bomb the other day for Team Mexico? I am curious where he ends up. I think he is definitely worthy of a roster spot somewhere, maybe on a playoff team. Just give you that power lefty bat. Rowdy Tellez had some clutch games, man. He had some clutch games for us. And you can remember some of the bombs he hit in the late innings. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a team out there that is playoff worthy that could use a big bench bat like that. I don't think Rowdy's going to be starting anywhere, but I do think he's valuable off the bench. By the way, game over. Peyton Gray closes it out, and the Rangers are going to win this one 15-9. Cue the I Like Texas music. We got a winner. Love it. Peyton Gray, inning and 2/3, 3 strikeouts. Super shiny 0 ERA. Man, you love to see it. We keep on rolling. Appreciate you guys. Is Hellman a 25-man lock, Brian? I'm going to say no. Hellman, to me, I think is a guy that has to start figuring it out in spring training. Mike Hellman, one of the little rascals last year. For me, I think the spring has been slow. He had the home run the other day, but he's hitting a $143 right now. 482 OPS. I just don't know, y'all. I just don't know. And 29 years old. I mean, this is an older player, an older controllable player. My perspective on guys like Mike Hellman, you've really got to show out. Like, you have really got to show out for me to feel good about giving you a roster spot. And I don't think that Mike Hellman at this point is worthy of one of those bench spots. I like Mike Hellman, but I think you got other guys that can provide you more value. Hellman was another guy. This is my biggest knock on Hellman. Last year, Hellman also, like Zeke Duran, could not hit lefties well. Hellman was better against righties than he was against lefties. I just don't think that that can work, and maybe it's something that he's worked on a little bit this year. Like, you would hope so, but last year, it was bad. The splits for Mike Hellman against lefties, I'm going to look it up for you guys right now. Against lefties, he was a 637 OPS, a 174 batting average. This was Mike Hellman against lefties last year. The only role I think that these bench guys have, you either got to be able to play everywhere, but also you have to be able to hit lefties if you're a righty. These guys that have these reverse splits, right-handed bats against lefties, man, it is not good. Let's look at Zeke's right now. Now I'm kind of curious. Zeke Duran last year against lefties, we're going to check this out and see where we're at with his numbers. Regular season 2025 splits. He was 541. It was the same thing. Both Hellman and Duran had reverse splits. They were worse against lefties than they were against righties. This is why I'm not a fan of either one of them being on the bench this year. I know Zeke gives you a lot of defensive versatility. Mike Hellman does as well. Mike Hellman can play a little infield, outfield. I'm just not for guys on the bench who can't hit lefties and are right-handed bats. If you're a right-handed bat, you have to be able to punish lefties if you're on my bench. Period. Keep going. What do I think about Berger right now? Love what I'm seeing from Bergatron. Berger is killing it right now. And that's great to see. In fact, I actually am glad you brought this up, McJ. I posted on X and I said, Skip's kind of low-key cooking with this Seager-Berger combo. Seager in the 3-hole, Berger in the 4-hole? Yes, please. Yes, please. That was beautiful tonight. Seager laces the single. Berger comes up right after him, drives in the runs. I loved it. I think give me a little more of that burger in the cleanup spot. Give me a little more of that burger right behind Siegs, man. That I think could work. Now, Berger clearly is going to have to really lock in because there's going to be teams pitching around Corey to get to Berger if he is in the 4 spot. In fact, really anybody that you put in the 4 spot is going to be a target because teams are going to be walking Corey Seager or being careful with Corey Seager to get to that 4 spot. Again, who would you rather face, Corey or Jake? No disrespect to Jake. I think we'd all rather face Jake Berger than Corey Seager if the game's on the line. Whoever hits in that 4th spot is going to have a big responsibility because you will see teams pitching around Corey Seager. But I like what I'm seeing right now. You figure, if you look at the lineup tonight, you figure you're going to have Nimmo leading off most of the time. Haggerty led off tonight. I don't think you're going to see Haggerty lead off a lot. I think it'll probably be Nimmo most nights. But if you had Nimmo, Langford, Seager, Berger, 1, 2, 3, 4, I can live with that. I can live with that. I think Young would be another guy you might consider in the cleanup spot. Clearly, we're waiting on his health. But this lineup kind of cooked tonight. I'm okay with Skip rolling this out. We're rolling this 2, 3, 4, at least Langford, Seager, Berger, 2, 3, 4. I think that's going to play. And I like how you get to space out the lefties and the righties. You don't have lefties stacked in the lineup. I do think that's a valid point. Some of y'all pushed back on me when I said that it should be Seager, Nimmo, 3, 4. I would love, or I think I said Seager, Nimmo, 2, 3 with Langford leading off. I'm still a fan of Langford leading off. I'm sorry. Langford looked good too. He did. I'm still a fan of Wyatt leading off, man. Your fastest guy on the team, it's Wyatt Langford, and I think Evan Carter's a close second. Your fastest guy on the team, causing havoc on the base pass. I'm still a fan of Wyatt being the leadoff guy, man. I'm going to keep on pushing with that. But if it can't be in the 1 spot, I like Wyatt in the 2. Evan Carter leading off would be extremely ideal eventually, and moving Nimmo back to 4th or 5th, I think, is where this team wants to go someday. The ideal for me would be Evan Carter, Wyatt Langford back-to-back just like that. And then after that, you have Seager. You have a right-handed power bat at 4, whoever that may be. Maybe it's Berger, maybe it's Young. And then in the 5 spot, you got Brandon Nimmo. I would love that. Look, Shohei Ohtani hits first. It's not good enough for Shohei. He ain't too good to hit leadoff. I think we can put Wyatt there. 40 home run would be incredible. I think he'll get to 30. I do think Wyatt's going to be 30-30 this year. Dude is a cheetah on the base pass 100%. Fastest guy on the team, man. We got to start causing some trouble on the base pass. That's one thing I think you're going to see a change with the Skip Schumacher offense. I feel like Boch was way too tentative on stealing bags, and with the bases being expanded over the past couple of seasons, man, you really want to see taking advantage as much as possible. And look, I didn't want to say it, but I will. We give up a lot of stolen bases. It would be nice if we could actually steal some ourselves. And this year, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. No, I'm not trying to be a hater, but I do wonder if we are going to see a pretty similar type outcome behind the dish in terms of controlling the stolen base game. I don't think Danny Jansen, Kyle Higashioka, I don't think those are their strengths. Pop time and caught stealing percentage. You like their bats, and Higgy had a great night at the dish tonight. Believe he was 2 for 3. Higgy had a good game. They're giving you offense. That's why you signed Higgy, and that's why you signed Danny Jansen. I'm a little concerned about the defense. You have got to steal bases if you are going to be giving up stolen bases on the other side. Playing the small ball more, 44, I'd be 100% on board with that too. You guys know this. I am big on situational hitting. It's a thinking man's game. You cannot just go up there trying to hit a home run every time. Like, play the game. Let it come to you. Execute in the certain situations that you're given, that you're dealt throughout the course of the ball game. I would love to see better situational hitting, stolen bases, better bunting, moving guys over, station to station, sacrifice flies. It doesn't have to be a double in the gap or a bomb in the seats every single time. Just manufacture runs when you need to. And you know what's so sad is you think about last year. I've thought about this so much, y'all. Think about last year. The pitching was elite. I have no clue how you didn't think I have elite pitching. I don't need to score a lot of runs. So on the offensive side, what do I need to be really good at? Manufacturing runs, small ball, situational hitting. And you just didn't see the Rangers catch on, man. It just was not emphasized. And it always bothered me, like how in spring training 2025, a year ago, you're looking at Evo, you're looking at DeGrom, a full season of DeGrom, you're looking at Jack Leiter taking another step. You're thinking about how CY has been so masterful piecing together a bullpen. How did you not go into 2025 thinking, man, we don't have to hit a bunch of homers. We don't have to hit a bunch of balls in the gap. If we do, it's great. And we just got to manufacture a few runs a night. And Jacob deGrom is going to go out and give us a quality start at least half the time, if not more. I really was a little bit confused last year why the club didn't go into 2025 with more of a small ball type approach, knowing how good the pitching was going to be. All right. I got to get off my soapbox here. Appreciate all you guys hanging out. Joe, good to see you, man. Can't wait for opening day either. Praying this is the offense we are getting. Me too. Me too. In the offseason, did the Rangers examine why the ball didn't carry? I don't think they did. I wonder if they would be a little more willing to open up the roof. Maybe it'd make a difference, but they're not, man. Look, in the summertime, you're not going to open up the roof, but I don't even know if they've experimented enough with the roof to really know. We'll see, man. I'm for the MLB season. Go Texas Rangers, go Cowboys, Texas Longhorns. Yes, sir. You're naming a lot of teams I like there. You know, here on the channel, we cover the Rangers first and foremost, but we cover the Cowboys and the Longhorns during football season. Little Dallas Mavericks here and there. Some of y'all see the hat in the background. Look, this is one of the least fun seasons I've had watching Dallas Mavericks basketball, minus Cooper Flag highlights. Of course, there's been a few nice games here and there, but let's just say when it comes to the Mavs, I am ready for next year. I'm ready for next year. Oh, Holly, did I strike a chord? But I know that my teams are controversial to some. That's why we keep it Rangers first and foremost, but we like to have fun with our fans that don't appreciate all the other teams on the channel. Still love y'all anyways. All right, I think we're caught up. And, man, we are just about at the end of our show. We've been going an hour and 9. Oh, my goodness. Oh, shoot. Honestly, kind of stoked about Kutch and what he can bring. He's a bit older, but still solid. Yeah, I am too. I definitely am too. I really am excited for Kutch's first game of the spring. I think he's going to be a great clubhouse guy. It was fun seeing that video. Y'all got to go to Andrew McCutchen's socials, man. He's already got the cowboy fit figured out. I loved that. I love that. Look, I just don't think there's any way he doesn't make the team. And honestly, if we can just be real and kind of put the feelings aside, you're not going to do worse than McCutchen on the bench. Like, would I rather have Zeke Duran or Andrew McCutchen? I'd rather have Andrew McCutchen. Even Mike Hellman, at this point, I'm probably taking McCutchen over Hellman. I think Cam Cauley is probably one I would most likely rather see over Kutch, but Cam's got a very long runway in this league. Kutch has got 1 year left, so I think that'll even be okay. With that, I'm going to do our final wrap-up of the show. By the way, Sunday, we will be live again. I am going to go live Sunday. Don't know who the Rangers play, but We've been doing Thursdays and we've been doing Sundays. It worked out perfectly that Andrew McCutchen signs on a Thursday. I love that. Look, not that I don't like getting on and doing more lives, but it was perfect. I'm like, awesome. I already was going to do the show tonight. McCutchen signs. It worked out perfectly. It worked out 100% perfectly. They never did examine why. Yeah, spot on this. I don't know what has been determined. The ball was seemingly flying around in the first years of Globe Life, and then suddenly it's become a pitcher's park. I wonder if they're ever going to give us a straight answer there. McJ, 100%, former MVP to mentor. Wyatt and Evan, always a dub. I love this, man. Dude is a former MVP. We got to put some respect on his name. Wyatt and Evan Carter are going to be able to learn from this guy. I mean, look, McCutchen's never been built like Wyatt Langford, but Kutch was a speed power guy at times in the early 2010s. Like, this is a guy that has been there, done that, and I think that it is an awesome move for Texas. Good job, Fenstermaker. Good job, CY, 100%. How's the pitching? I think it's going to be good. I think the pitching is going to be quality this season as well. I think that you are going to see the Rangers take maybe a small step back, but I think by and large, it's going to be good again. I think it'll be top 7 for sure. I think that's what the number I've been throwing out there, and I wouldn't be surprised if it got into the top 5. I don't know if it's going to be the best. I just feel like, too, with the Rangers and how good they played defense last year, like, odds are they're going to regress a little bit. We'll see what happens. We will see. All right, y'all. Hey, by the way, I know I've been talking about the Discord a little bit. Would love to have more of y'all a part of that awesome community. It's the one thing I've monetized here on the channel. It's $2.99 a month. All you have to do is become a subscriber on TikTok, or you hit that join button on YouTube. You become a member. I would love to have, like I said, as many of y'all as possible. It's the one thing, again, you want to give a little bit of extra support to the channel. You want to be a part of that Discord community. Would love to have you. It's a great group of people. But if it's not for you, no hard feelings. Keep supporting the show just like you are doing right now. Commenting, stopping by, catching up, keeping up with us. We love it. So thank you to all of y'all for your support. I appreciate it. Sunday is Angels at 3:05. Okay, so that's what, 1:05 my time? All right, good. This will work out perfect. So we will have a Sunday recap of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday's games for you. And then we'll also be previewing the week ahead. So we'll be back Sunday again, live here on the show. It's going to be great. Come back, hang out. Maybe I'll put out a couple of videos in between. I've been slacking a little bit on the reels and the short vids. I have been putting out a ton of content, on X. By the way, follow me over on there if you would like more frequent updates in between, especially now and Sundays live. But I'll see if I can get a video out to you guys at some point. Hope y'all have an awesome rest of the weekend. Well, I guess technically it's not the weekend yet, but second Friday today, or first Friday today, as they say. Y'all have a good weekend. Love y'all. Thanks for the support. And as I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers.